Welcome in. MJ38 show, episode number 21. 21.
21.
That is officially top 1%. People who start this don't usually get this far. If you're here with us still, we appreciate it. We love you. We're rooting for you. Hopefully your day's going well. The waters are warm. The birds are chirping. The airs are airing. We're out here working, baby.
Yes.
The dreams are getting here a little closer, just step by step,
Well said.
day by day.
That's all you got.
That's all you got. 24 at a time.
Your increment. This 24.
This 24. Let's go like Kobe did, bro. So get in there, put that work in. We're putting that work in. It's been a nice week. We're chilling on a Sunday today. Football Sunday, NFL Sunday. You already know about it. You can't see it right now, but the game, we have Red Zone on in the back. Not going to lie.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the chill sesh. We are chilling hard on a Sunday. It's like my favorite thing to do. Just have the Red Zone on.
It's nice.
Scrolling through all your teams. Scrolling through all your picks.
That's why he likes it so much.
And you're chilling, dog.
We made a lot of hypotheses going into this morning.
Yeah.
Like 20 or 30 hypotheses were going off on our charts.
Whole bunch of things going on in my mind.
Yeah. And then now we're watching the reality of those situations play out one more time. Like one more simulation completed for data analysis.
Yep.
And we're like, son of a bitch, we were right. Son of a bitch, we were wrong.
Yes, bro. It's awesome. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like, yeah, formulate what do I think the story is going to be of X, Y, or Z player or team.
Well, that's what makes
And then
us
see what happens.
interesting. I think it makes us smart too, is because we look at it as like a narrative-driven league. Like, I don't know, some people look at it as a statistic-driven league.
Yeah, strictly statistics.
Or like a management-driven league. Like they think the coaching staff has more to do with it than anything. You could think about it a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we look at it as like the story of the team and like the story of this team and the story of this team. And if they were to play out like over 5 seasons of a television show, what would likely be the end result for like the karmatic involvement of all the characters?
Yeah.
I know it's kind of a weird way to watch football to a degree, but like we're right like often.
Yeah.
It's like
fun.
crazy.
It's funny to watch. It's awesome to watch. It's really fun to watch it all come out, the story unfold,
It's crazy.
the writing as it's happening page by page, play by play, quarter by quarter. It's cool.
Yep.
Sunday football. So we're big chilling. Hopefully y'all are big chilling as well, whatever you're doing. Washing the dishes, driving the whip, working the job. Do it all. Get in there.
Get your dub.
Get your dub.
Get your dub.
Yes, bro. Yeah, so how's your weekend going?
Good weekend.
Okay. Yeah? Yeah.
You ever had a long day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You just recall to your mind like a really long day. Like one of those days where you like get up early in the morning. You're like, "Phew, I'm up early," and then it's nighttime, and you're like, man, I'm still up. I'm still up doing this, doing what I got to do.
Still keep it moving.
That was me yesterday.
A lot of conscious.
That was me yesterday, but like in a good way, you know. It's like, man, sometimes when we'd be like really hungover in college and we'd have like a lot of shit to do the next day, you'd be like, say something like, you need some rainy days so you can appreciate sunshine. And then I just think sometimes you got like a bitch of a day coming up and you just got to go through it, you know? And it feels good when you get to the other side, you know? Like,
Oh yeah. It's awesome.
it felt like a really tough workout, but did that. Got some good sleep last night.
Nice.
Football Sunday.
Gotta recover up on that.
Patrick Mahomes showed us why we love football earlier today.
Yes, sir.
Feel good.
That's a guy who I like as a story player. He's like a main character.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me that he's winning. And I remember thinking about him like way long ago whenever he was playing against Tom Brady back in the day
Yeah.
in like the AFC Championship. And I was like, I think in the story of Patty Mahomes, he has to lose to the GOAT to get access to the elevated place, to the upper echelon.
I remember you saying that, and it kind of struck a chord in me. I was like, "Oh, he's right. Like, he's not going to
And
dethrone
then he
him."
lost
Yeah,
to
he
Tom
did.
Brady in
Yeah.
overtime.
And
And he goes on to win the Super Bowl.
I was gonna say, now he's on that path of like,
Being that guy now.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I bet it sucked when he lost that championship. I bet it hurt.
Yep. The AFC Championship. Then he lost to him again. He lost to him again in the Super Bowl against Tampa.
Ah, you're right. Golly, man, that's how that played
Yeah.
out?
Yeah. And then I guess he just won against the Eagles last season. He got his.
Let's go. Have you ever watched the quarterback documentary on Netflix? It really goes into like, I wasn't that big of a Patrick Mahomes fan until I watched that documentary, and then you kind of fall in love with him, or at least I do. He's like just so passionate, really passion-driven guy with a lot of work ethic, cares a lot, and just balls.
Yeah, main character-esque quality.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what it looks like. And then he wins the games. That's what happens. And then he showed us today. We bet on him. I was like, that guy's going to do it. They lost last week. I think the narrative is that Andy Reid has 10 days. They're going to figure it out, come back, and it's a get-right game they're going to cover.
Yep, they got it.
And that was the story that happened, and that was my prediction, and then we watched it play out. And it was like, yes! Yes!
And then the tagline we associate with that feeling is Patrick Mahomes shows us why we love football. Mm-hmm. Every week you can just turn on the TV and you're like, oh, someone's doing something crazy. You want to watch that? Watch the Chiefs play. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy, bro. It's crazy how we just keep it going.
We just keep it going, man. Sunday by Sunday. So, yeah, a good 24. I guess you had a rough 24, but a lot of work done, or just a lot of time being conscious.
Yeah, just a lot of time being conscious. I went into work early and then worked a long shift and then stayed a little late and then got some sauna and some cardio in too. Ooh. Just doing what we're doing, you know?
Back end, let's go.
I only had a couple hours of sleep going into it, and then I got a 2-hour nap in the middle of the day, and sometimes it's Mission Impossible. You gotta be Tom Cruise. I was Tom Cruising through that thing, dog.
I know what to tell you. You gotta be Tom Cruise sometimes.
You just gotta do it. I was like, all right, you better find it. I find strength within myself. Like, I don't know it's gonna be there until I need it, and then I'm like, there it is. And then you make it happen.
Second win, third win.
Yeah, fourth win, born to win.
Yo, where's that come from, bro?
I don't know. God. That's a simple, easy answer.
You can't even study it, bro. It's like, where do all of a sudden you have this energy from? I think, what made me think kick? About that? Yeah, it's like, I think I remember specifically whenever Goggins was on Joe Rogan, he was talking about one of his hell weeks, maybe his first or second hell week. But I think hell week is 5 days, 6 days. Either way, it was like halfway through. They were halfway. It was like a Wednesday. They were halfway through the shits. And like hell week, you're up virtually the entire time. You get maybe 2 hours, an hour sleep a day, like at best. And even at that, it's like not very comfortable sleep. You know, you're worn the hell out. But they're like halfway through this hell week, and then Goggins, like in his recount of him and his, like, because I guess you're broken off into sections or like teams, and they were boat crew 2, I think is what they were. Their assignment was, or like their team number, and they just went off. Like I remember like him, like leading his like little squadron in whatever drill they were doing at the time, halfway through the hell week, and everyone who's like the leaders of the hell week, who are like the instructors, like getting you through it or trying to break you more or less, like they also had to endure that hell week as well. So they know what it's like, and he knows that as well. So he's like, these motherfuckers are looking at us, like judging each and every one of us based on who they were going through this hell week. Yes. So he's like, oh, I'm harder than him. I was harder than him. He's like, I'll like that guy's hard. That guy's hard as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're all like sizing us up. So then he like uses all this motivation and like gets his crew to like halfway through the hell week in this crazy drill to like just get this second win and just start exerting crazy amounts of energy, just like unnecessary amounts of energy in this drill. He's like just lifting the boats. It's like throwing the fucking boats around, bro, like they're nothing. It's just like, where'd that come from? Everyone else is dying. And he's like, and in that moment when we were doing that, I took all their souls. We took their souls. Give me that shit. Like I know they went home that night thinking like, man, that guy's fucking hard because he's still out there while they're home sleeping in their beds. We're still out here, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yes, that's why we love David Goggins. Mm-hmm. And
where the hell's that come from?
Where does that come from? That's the question.
Second wind.
I don't know. David Goggins figured out you can talk yourself into it a lot. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think Michael Jordan figured that out too.
Yeah. Yes. Well, what do you mean?
Or it's like building a narrative within your own mind to give you fuel when there's nothing there.
Yeah, you got to remind yourself like why you're there, what you're fighting for, like what it represents. You know what I'm saying? Like I think you're trying to drive out more like care, more like I am invested. I do give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out here.
Like more why.
Yeah. For me, last night there was like an option where I could have like exited in the fourth quarter. Like it was the fourth quarter, like the clock was at 0. You know what I'm saying? Mm. And I got there early that day, and then like also just hadn't slept much that night, the night before that, so I was just like struggling. Mm-hmm. The suffer gauge was high. I was like, dude, yeah, I was done, dude. My feet. I also got new work shoes. Sorry, I'm talking like I'm nervous. I got new work shoes and they're awesome and they're sized properly and it's so nice, but they're still new. So like my feet were dying.
Break them in a little bit.
For real. I had done the sauna because I needed to, but that like kind of just like made everything a little bit tougher too. So I'm at the Suffer Stay place and then my homie's like really needs to leave. And at first I'm like, nah, dog, like not me. Like I'm not a candidate right now because I'm like not performing well, to be honest with everybody. Like I'm not at the top of my game anymore. I'm not sharp right now. Like my Gatorade icon over my head. I can no longer sprint. Like I need to get off of this court.
Yeah.
And it's just like I guess nobody else can do it. And I see him at a point of like where like despair starts to set in. Like he was kind of like chilling about it, but then I saw like he was like fuck, like I don't know. And then when I saw that in him, I just really felt like in that moment I was like I just love that dude. Like I associated that to the feeling later, but in that moment I was just like, oh dude, like oh, I'm cracked. I'll play OT. I'll play OT for you, dog. Let's do it, bro. Let's do it. Get out of here, bro. Like I got you. Like if you go clear it right now, and I got you, cause like I just love you, bro. I love you too much. Like honestly, I don't want to do this, but it makes no sense for me not to do it. I don't know. I got that second wind just because I was like, he was gonna go do something to elevate his career, like the same way we do music. He has like a passionate like side hustle.
Pursuit.
That he'd like to make into a main hustle, and like he wanted to go do that, and I saw him hurting because he was like stuck and couldn't like make the play work. And I was like, nah, dude, I got you. Like go. I don't know. Like it was like in that moment, it was just like I've got to sacrifice right now. Like it's my job. Like I love this guy. Like let's go. I got him. I got you.
Nice.
And that's what
awesome.
Got me over the end zone. And I don't know.
You gotta draw that out from somewhere.
Yeah, it kind of came out of me. I told him no like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And I was just like in that moment when I saw like I don't know, man. So I think that's part of what it is too. Is like that emotional like it was almost the same thing as care or like. Why, like we were talking about, something in there like can turn like no energy into another kick at least, bro.
Yeah. And yeah, that may also be kind of like partially tied into your identity because it was a moment of it's like I identify as a person that I would help this guy out, or I would help this person out, especially someone that I care about, like a friend. Like I would claim to be that person within my own mind, and then an opportunity presented itself for you to like do that.
Yeah,
and it was like. Yeah, it's like, this fits. Like, I kind of have to do that.
Yeah. The other thing is that I don't like to fold on myself. And, like, I really felt that. So, like, I know I would have gone home and been like, man, you could have done it. Like, you could have lasted another 2 or 3 hours. Like, here you are, safe, resting, HP going back up. Like, you got a save point right here. And all you had to do was stay in the wildy for 2 or 3 more hours, bro. Like, so in that moment, I had identified that it was the right thing to do. And then that was like a part of, I guess, like identity. What is identity? You know what I'm saying? That's the question.
Who you think you are?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's who I thought I was or like who I am. I don't know how you define what you are, like with truth, with like an objective truth lens, you know? But in that moment, I knew that the right thing for me, like my moral compass told me, like if I was going to be like my best version of myself, I would do this for him, even though I'm like suffering right now. And then I did it. And then I was like, you know, felt good. So like I had a good day, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I was just dying, bro. Long day, bro. Suffer, stay high.
Yes, bro. Yeah, long days, man. Long days.
Let's go though. To be honest, like I'm proud of me for doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, dog.
I'm proud of you if you do that. Like I hope that if you're a fan of me, you're a fan of you. Like we talk about. You know what I'm saying? So just keep pushing. That's what it's about. That's like what I'm happy to tell you that story and not that homie missed his thing, you know?
Yeah, and hopefully he did well.
Hopefully,
or whatever energy, either way, whatever energy was going into that was at least pure. At least from you, any energy that you contributed.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, true that.
That's all we need, man.
So I had a really fulfilling day yesterday.
Hell yeah, let's go. That's what's up.
Let's go. And then while I'm doing the most annoying job at the end of the job, I'm watching Colorado State pull off a comeback OT win, and I was just like flooded with positive emotion. I was just like, not like I identified with Colorado in that moment, but I just felt like, I don't know, man.
Deion Sanders.
Just like I guess it felt like maybe sometimes we relate ourselves to sports, so it felt like the good guys were winning when Deion won that game. And then I don't know why, but I was just like, man, like goodness won whenever like I sacrificed for Marcus to go. It felt like goodness won in that moment, just because I wasn't being like a little bitch.
Yeah.
You know, I got out of my own way so that goodness could win. And then I was like, oh man, I'm pretty sure Deion's the good guy. Is he gonna lose? It's like, no, he won.
Came back, double OT.
Come on, bro. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. You love to see it. You love to see it.
Love to see it, bro.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Love to see it, bro.
Go in there, man. Go in there. But yeah, man. Speaking of long days, we had a hell of a long day on that Saturday. You did too.
That was yesterday for you?
No. That last Saturday. Whenever we went out to Austin. Went to Austin for my little birthday.
Oh yeah.
I was up early. Ran a 5K.
This is on the celebration of his birthday. So like the day is let's celebrate Justin's birthday.
Yeah, we're going off.
And then what'd you do?
We woke up early at like 6:30 or so, and then went to the church. We had a little CBC was doing, I guess, like hosting some sort of 5K fundraiser event. So we went and ran 5K at like 7 or 8 in the morning, and then I puked. Finished that bitch and puked. It was so humid. I was sweating so profusely.
Hold on. How you finished and then you threw up?
Yeah.
How much time between finishing and throwing up did you have?
Maybe 10 seconds.
Dude, it's like
about 10, 15 seconds. I was done.
It's like your body knew. It's like, okay, I finished. I can get rid of this.
Yeah, there was a point where I was like feeling it throughout the run because there were 2 pretty gnarly hills.
Yeah.
Pretty gnarly.
Okay.
Take it down. Yeah, it was so humid. But man, it was a good one. It was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, my body was ready. As soon as I finished, it was like, nope, you can't hold this in. This is happening.
Party, dude.
Good start to the day.
Hell of a way to start your day. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, long day. So started like that. Woke up super early, ran that 5K, and then I guess we just hung out around the house, and then went to Austin. Went to Topgolf, chilling. Went to dinner. Went to I guess there's like a domain at the area within Austin called the Domain. It's like a whole bunch of outdoor shops and malls and stuff, or shops and like restaurants.
The Domain in Austin is the shit.
Very nice little area, kind of like La Cantera, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super similar, but almost nicer. I think the restaurants that are there are nicer, and there's like nicer. Like you stayed in a hotel that was over there.
Yeah.
It's almost like the Pearl mixed with La Cantera, I think, but like still even a little bit nicer because it's just a really nice place.
Yeah, badass little part of Austin. But so you spent the whole day out there, and then went out on they have like I guess somewhat of a bar or a strip of streets where like bars and clubs are more or less, and stayed out there till like 1:45, 2 a.m. And then oh boy, you came out after work. You're like, I'm coming.
Yeah,
like, let's go.
Pull up on my dog.
We're trucking.
Happy birthday, bro.
We're trucking.
My man's turned 30 years old, dude.
Yeah, it was a good birthday. It was great, man. Such a good time. Such a good time. But it was it was a long day. I passed out hard. And amazingly enough, I woke up the next morning and I was fine. I felt great.
That's awesome.
I was like, oh, thank God.
That's awesome. No, yeah, I got there pretty late. And at one point, it's like 1:30 and I look over at Justin and I'm like, he looks like he's dying. I mean, looks like death. And I was like, you want to get out of here? You're like, yeah, let's go. And then at some point, somebody's like, yeah, you did run a 5K today. And I was like, what? What? Hold on, what? That's a long ass day, dude.
Long days. Good days.
Those are the best days.
Good day.
Like one of the toughest days of my life was when Justin and I went to go see Kanye West and Jay-Z in Austin. And
that was a long day.
That was a long fucking day, dude.
I think we stayed up for like pretty close to 24 hours straight. At least 20. We woke up around 4 in the morning, and then we didn't go to sleep until probably like 4 or 5 in the morning on the bus.
Dude, yeah.
The bus ride home.
Seriously.
At the bus stop.
I was just hear, ding, you've arrived. And it's like, we're right by our car. And I was like, oh, we got to get off.
My God. Yeah, that was a long day.
That was so crazy, dude. So, yeah. But, like, there was a part where I was really suffering. Like, waiting for that bus to come. Mm-hmm. Just suffering, bro. And I still think back, like, okay, here's a question for everybody.
Love it.
Let's say, like, you died, okay? Tough presupposition to swallow.
Heard.
It's just a thought experiment.
Okay,
so you get to heaven, and they're like, hey, welcome to heaven. It's pretty dope here. We start you off in tiers and waves of packages of experiences, and one of the first things that's going to, like, help you is to kind of, like, get over everything that happened in life. And one of the best ways to kind of start like detaching from that is like to relive some of those moments as this dead version of yourself. So we want you to go ahead and pick out 5 days for you to go back and relive that day from start to finish. Any day you want, your choice, but we need you to pick 5, and then we're gonna do those 5, and then we're gonna go to tier 2.
Let's go.
Okay. So like just in your head, like which days would you pick? And it kind of depends on what you value in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like what would you want? You
What
know?
24-hour span would you consider to be worth picking?
Yeah.
Good questions.
That's my question for you guys. And then at one point, when I think about the day that we saw Kanye West and Jay-Z, I'm like, that's one of those days. But it sucked so bad for so many different points of that day. Like it wasn't just like a really easy, like like I don't know, ice cream,
Sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, none of that, bro. I mean, some of that we saw Kanye West and Jay-Z. It wasn't like a terrible day. What I'm saying is like the nuance of some good with the bad.
Mm-hmm.
And just how many hours we spent awake almost makes it like worth more than some of the other days that I've spent.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't think you would pick a day where you slept a whole bunch.
No, right?
I don't think you're going to pick the day where you slept for like 14 hours.
No.
I want to relive that. I don't want that. I don't think so.
I mean, like, yeah, no. I mean, maybe I could see like if it was like a cuddle day with your partner. You know, like you just wanted like a peaceful, like a chill day with someone you loved. You want to go back and like feel that again. I could get that.
Mm-hmm.
But just like pure recovery sleep, like by yourself, probably no, definitely not. There's like, so this is what I'm saying. So then this innately also implies something here, that there's some things in life that we value more than other things.
Yeah, things that make the days that we live, the time that we pass more worthwhile than other times that we're passing.
Yes. Seems obvious when you state it like that. It's like, oh yeah, duh. But like also sometimes, I don't know.
We're just living.
Exactly. The pursuit of meaning seems like abstract and kind of impossible and pointless and like a waste of effort to like be trying to find meaning, to be doing meaningful things. But I think if we were to like ask these questions, it's like, oh, hold on, well, what was worth my time and effort and energy?
Yeah.
Like which experiences?
Which
one? Anything come to mind for you? Offer it.
Yeah, definitely that the Jay-Z Kanye concert was great. What else would be a really good day to live out? I guess for some people, yeah, like the birth of a child would be like a good day, maybe if they had like a good story around it, or like maybe the whole 24 hours was good.
Yeah,
or maybe not good, but I guess either way, that day might be a good one to go.
A really
relive.
rich
or your
slice
wedding day,
of life cake.
Your wedding day.
Yeah,
I'm sure that for a lot of people is a really big one.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're right.
And then also maybe whenever you took a mega multivitamin for the first time, I had a crazy psychedelic experience.
I want to go to heaven and go back to Earth
to see what's going on.
That's a trip. I'm with that.
Yeah, I guess maybe days where you put in a lot of good work.
That's for me. A couple of those were just like a day where you really sacrificed well.
Or you won a championship or some shit.
Yeah,
right.
That would probably be
a big one for a lot of people, like Uncle Rico. Throw football over the mountains.
Yeah, seriously, want to go back and do it one more time. I might even do that myself.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess what's the common theme in all that?
Highs for sure. We love highs.
Yeah. I guess winning something, overcoming something, new life, a new chapter.
I think it's better if we think specifically for us and not what we think other people would pick. Mm-hmm. Just because, I don't know what they'd value. You know what I'm saying? You're probably right, though.
Yeah, I'm sure it's very like Family Feud style.
Yes.
That's top 5 answers on the board.
Mo typical big days would definitely get picked.
Mo typical big days. Man, what would I pick? I don't even know. I guess maybe some... maybe even like a younger memory whenever we went to like Lincoln Park for the first time. Our first concert ever. I'm sure that was a great day. I can't really remember it very specifically. We were young.
Yeah, so much youth there. We were 10.
We were 10. But seeing like our favorite people in the world. Like being old enough to like comprehend that. And then like living it, I'm sure that was a great memory.
But we also didn't know too much about life to overcomplicate it. Like we were still like real ignorantly blissful.
Mm-hmm. Just chilling, being kids.
Yeah, dude.
Watching Linkin Park, our favorite band in the world, perform live.
So crazy, bro.
Yeah, we loved that.
I remember the feeling of sitting in the backseat of that
concerts.
car.
Going to concerts are great. Those are kind of like euphoric,
cathartic feeling.
Yeah. Those are 2 concerts off the bat.
Cathartic moments. I miss my mom a lot sometimes. Like, just not like I'm sad about it a lot, but it's like more matured version of sadness, I guess,
Mhm.
where I would probably, at this point, if I died like soon, I'd probably pick a day that I hung out with my mom, if that makes sense.
Yeah, hell yeah. The day y'all had just like hung out and did whatever, or had a good day together.
Or like the day we watched that Colts game together.
Oh yeah.
I might relive that moment where she convinces me to not leave, and then the Colts come back and win the game. That was like just one of the coolest days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She like taught me how to not give up in that moment.
It's a true fanhood in that moment.
Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah, see, that's another good day.
Yeah.
The sporting events are also kind of tied to that euphoric feeling,
Yeah.
even just watching it.
Right. Like winning.
And your family, I guess, with that kind of couple together.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot because like what made it so cool is we watched a lot of games together that season. So like it was like a whole thing at that point. And then we were losing bad, and I was like sad that the cruise ship I was riding on had hit some rocks, and I was like, "We're going down, man! I don't want to watch this ship go down."
Yeah, it was like, damn, they were down like 35 or something, 28 at least. They were down almost like 30 points, maybe more at halftime. That's a large deficit, folks.
It was
It's a big one.
It was the biggest comeback in playoff history at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they play every year that it's like the day that it happened. They always play that on ESPN. Like it's like a thing, as it's Andrew Luck's like biggest career moment. And
For
then
sure.
he's like a darling of ESPN and SportsCenter because his career ended too early. So they always want to throw him flowers. So I feel like they always show that little like chain of events.
Some crazy shit in history. Yeah, we
It was
were
awesome.
part of it.
Yeah, for real. They do that for me and my mom. Like I think that's what they do it for.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? If not for the money, that's the pure side of that game is they do it for the kids, you know? And I was the kids at that moment.
The city.
The city, bro.
The whole city. It was in Indianapolis too. The city was
Dude.
watching, bro.
And then Chuck Pagano, like his whole coaching, like it kind of all culminated right there. Like that's the stamp of what he brought to the table was like he could get a team to like just be solid and dig in and believe in themselves and never give up. And then that's what can happen. You know what I'm saying?
Bang.
Winning a playoff game like with a big deficit.
Yeah, doing something that was damn near impossible.
Yeah, seriously.
Damn near impossible.
Yeah, a lot of people had turned off the TV.
Oh, they're done. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people left the stands.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh shit, no."
Yeah, my mom was just like one of the people. Imagine someone in the stands is like, hold on, like one more possession, like at least one more possession. I love these people. Give them a chance.
This might be the last game. Come on.
Yeah.
Man. Come on, man.
Yeah, she was probably thinking because she's like more mature than me, so she was probably thinking like we might not watch a whole season together. Like it's kind of rare to watch a whole football season like with your parents still as an adult, you know.
Mhm.
But I was just like a freshman in college that year, so it's just the way like I had weekends off and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And man, so yeah, she had enough awareness and to be like, oh, don't. There's like reasons not don't leave yet. Like, stay to the end, or at least stay until it's like over. And I was just like, okay, word.
A miracle can happen, kid.
Yes,
Believe with me.
yeah. It's like okay, word. Touchdown. I was like, oh my god, it's happening. It's crazy. Yeah. So that's one of my best like life that day of. It was just so much richness in that moment to like. Because my mom was like a good fan. Earlier in the year, we had like bad quarterbacks, and I'm trying to remember what happened, but she just was always a really solid like, stay loyal as a fan, and like just when it's down, like just stay down, and then it's gonna come up, and then it's gonna be like, you have a ticket to that event now because like you were there for it to some degree, and like I don't know, man, it was just like, because it's not like my mom took me to church really. But I think she was good at expressing, like, this is the right thing to do. Come on, like, she definitely, like, taught me morality. And then it was, like, watching all those little mini morality lessons that she'd been kind of, like, saying through the last, like, my whole life, more or less.
Yeah.
Come to that moment where she's like, don't leave, watch. This is what I've been talking about. Miracle occurs. And I was just like, oh, karma's real. Like in that moment almost, you know, like it was like just super not validating to a degree, but just I learned a lot about life too. Something happened there where I became like more love and rich person.
Yeah. Believing in miracles.
Yeah.
The possibilities. That's just wild. That's awesome. Yeah, so there's something there. There's something there in like even in this like kind of recounting of like what is valuable as far as like reliving a day. If you had to relive days, whenever you get to the end of it, it's like what do you value? And I'm sure like the God would be able to tell you like, or like maybe you would even have like it would play it out for you. It's like these are the 5 days that you value the most, It's like you get to see who you are. It's like, oh, I value these things the most. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's like these are the days that that I objectively felt the most, whatever. Elation or growth or pride or happiness and joy, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to have them played out for you. It's like, oh man. Thanks, God.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be like, there's so many days I believe. Like that past Saturday was a pretty good day. I wouldn't mind that one.
This is like, Justin, you value these things, so these would be the most valuable to you.
These are your best 5 days.
And then you would be like, oh yeah, he's right.
Like, oh wow. Yeah, you're right.
That'd be sick.
That'd be cool.
I imagine it might be like that, but it's an on-earth thought experiment.
No, but yes, it's good. It's good to have that awareness in this plane in this dimension here and now to put that into your formulation of what's worth doing.
Yes.
You know, I'm sure maybe some of it would be like vacation, like times you went on vacation and did stuff where you went somewhere and did something that was different
So true.
with people that you loved or whatever. Just having a good time with people you love. That's probably a lot of it.
So
and then
true.
maybe on an internal level, on a personal level, like things that you did for yourself, maybe that you were like you ran a marathon. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like for you.
Yeah, I don't know. Would I do that again? It sucked. I'm not gonna lie.
That was some shit, actually.
But
Maybe a combination of those things.
yeah.
Yeah, would the marathon be in your top 5?
Man, I guess I would like. Before it's all said and done, I'd like to run a marathon where I don't struggle as much. Like the last 6 miles, dude, were just so bad, just so much suffer.
It's fucking Sufferville, dude.
I'll take you there for like a brief moment, because like so, it's just a lot of hills, and
You're 20 miles deep.
yeah, at 7, yes, dude. Okay, so at 20 miles deep, I've lost my legs. Like every muscle is cramping, and I have to kind of penny jog, which is an expression for like less than a very slow jog.
It's barely faster than walking. It's like a slow, fast walk.
I had told myself I wouldn't walk. Like, I will not walk one time. I will at least jog this whole thing. So, like, imagine me 1 degree respect above walking.
Yep.
Just enough to hold my own respect.
1.1.
And then, so at that point, I'm at that pace for like a good 5 miles. And there's also other people at that pace, because it's like, imagine people running, like we've come to an average at this point. And then some of the people running right next to me for that 5 mile duration was a couple. And then
Let's go.
Right?
Let's go.
And like the couple, it would be like we'd go for half a mile, and then the woman would like cramp up, and then they would like stop and walk, and like she would have to like work through that cramp. And then they'd get going again, back on the penny jog, and then they'd get back on their pace, and then we'd go for another mile, and then the dude would cramp up. And then they'd get him right, back on the jog, back up the pace. And this is us for like 5 miles, dude. And I was just like, I don't know, there was something there where like, we all should have stopped. All of us were like, fucked, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, any sane, quote unquote, like sane person would have called for help. You know?
Yeah, my body's done.
Yeah, but in that moment, because of like whatever constraint we shared right there, that like we weren't going to, like they weren't going to walk either. They kept going to push that pace, and like I felt the same, like muscles cramping and having to like find ways to adjust the running, and having like, as soon as I would get to a stand, I would like slam everything they'd had. I'd be like, give me 3 of these gel shots, 2 water bottles, 2 bananas, and a pickle. Please, God.
Give me it all.
Yeah. Full dose, so that I can hopefully get like a half a mile without feeling cramp feelings, and then get to the next stand. And like, I don't know, man. They're like, that shit sucked really bad.
Sufferville.
Super suffer
I can
state.
attest. I was suffering at like mile 10.
Dude, that was some shit, bro.
Those hills, bro. Those hills will get you.
The hills took my legs.
The hills will get you.
I remember at mile 23, there was this lady that was like, you're almost done. That's why I always separated my mind. The worst parts were miles 17 to 23. But at 23, there was a lady sitting on the house. And by the way, there's not a lot of people holding up signs at mile 23. There's like nobody, dog. There was like a mom and a son handing out oranges just on the corner. Like some mom had taken her kid out. And she's like, they're running the marathon through here. Let's like give them some fruit. And I was like, that mom's crazy smart.
That's tight.
That's tight, right?
That's awesome.
And then there was another lady who was just sitting on her stoop. And she had a sign. And she was like, you're almost there. And then she like was saying that to everybody, but then she like told me, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're almost there. Like, you look like you're going to die. Don't die.
Don't worry.
Yeah, you're at the end of it. Like you did it more or less. Like this is the end. And that shit, like, she got me. And then it wasn't so bad anymore. But
Nice.
17 through 23, god damn, bro, that shit was probably the hardest thing I've ever done. Would I do it again? Right now? Yeah, fuck it, let's do it.
If we died tomorrow, let's go to top 5.
Let's get it, let's do it.
Top 5.
Let's do it.
But yeah, I 100% can agree, or with the feeling of like I want to be able to run it and conquer it more or less. At least
Yeah.
my idea of conquer it, what conquer it looks like to me,
Yeah.
is at least to run the whole thing and like not be dying
Yeah,
for sure.
facts.
Yeah, I feel the same way with like the half, or like the half I was okay, but like if I was gonna do a full, I would have been dead. I would have been dead skis, dude. I was dead at the half. Just do it again.
I think you could have done it. I mean, I don't know.
I could have finished, but
Yeah.
like it would have. Yeah, I would have. It would have been. There would have been some walking involved. Some heavy walking involved.
I think part of me thinks that two things about a marathon are true. And one is that you're going to like it's like war. Like something's gonna go wrong. Like you're gonna cramp somewhere or you're gonna be hurting, you're not gonna be able to breathe. It's not gonna be like just a long run. Like the fact that it is a marathon means that it's gonna get to a point where it's too hard. And then like marathon runners are people that run through too hard.
Yeah,
And that was something that like I conceptualized in the middle of it and I was like, this is what a marathon is. It's like,
Yeah.
well, you stop running now.
it's not running 26 miles. It's doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like humans we're not supposed to be running that long.
No, dude, like everything in me wants to throw up and like also needs to shit. And like I'm out of sweat. I don't have any more. Like it's crazy, bro. But then David Goggins, like I remember him talking about it and it kind of like mentally prepped me as like, yeah, like long runs fucking this is it, bro. Like David Goggins wouldn't respect me as much if I was just like, yeah, love 26, knocked it down, loved it. It's like
Easy money.
Yeah, you kind of need to be like like a monstrously getting through the suck.
Reach that like depletion state.
Yeah.
I'm depleted.
Yeah.
I'm physically out.
Yeah.
Then you push through. Then you keep running another 7 miles.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's the part is the
That's the marathon.
rushing of the expectation of what should have been done.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other part of a marathon is it's just so much longer than you think. Like even after I was done running, I just felt like the marathon lasted like a couple days after that. Like metaphysically, a marathon is like you're gonna have to run it that long, and then recovering from that run and like finishing what was that task is much longer than just the run itself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like I think part of life is not just doing the thing, but you're gonna have to like the transition from both ways. Like the prep plus the cool down is like part of the task.
Yes. Yeah. It's like planning the day, then executing the plan, and then like the after action report of like how did the plan go.
That's
all three
a
of
day.
those things. That's a thing. Yeah. That all three of those things is one thing.
Yes. That's what I learned from the marathon. Because you think a marathon's a run. It's like, no, you got to train
You
for
gotta
like...
prep for train for it the day of the thing, or like the week leading into it, the day of, and then the cool down after.
Yeah. All of those are like tough. Like
The marathon.
Yeah, exactly. Like let's say you don't eat right the 2 weeks before the marathon and you go in kind of like off weight either way. It's like not good.
Yeah, not fully hydrated or nutritionally there, calorically.
Exactly, dude. And then if you don't
You're just fucked.
literally get the right amount of carbs in before the race, you're fucked. Like you have to be like
Fucked.
so schedulely oriented in different phases. Like I ran for 8 weeks at these different interval paces so I could be at this pace right now. I ate like this for 2 months. Now I ate like this for 2 weeks. Now the next 2 days I eat like this. If you don't get your sleep, I mean like there's cracked people that just like get up and go do it and they're cooling. But like the ideal measurements that you're supposed to take are so like specific, you know?
Yeah, there really is a whole prep and a whole respective ritual you got to do to it if you want to like do it well and not just die.
Yeah, dude.
Our humans aren't ready for that. Most humans aren't just ready to go run 26 miles tomorrow. Most people are just ready to do that
No, dude.
at a moment's notice.
Rare percentage.
That's rare form people. Oh my God. That boy Saquon making crazy catches.
But yeah, I'm much more excited to watch football with my mom that day than I am to go run the marathon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But so there's something to be said for like suffering does suck. That's what it is.
Yeah. I'd probably pick more joyous moments when we're on vacation in Vegas and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I try to embrace suffering as much as I can because like we want to be Christ-like, and the message is like suffer for like love to win the battle, you know?
Mm.
And like Still, though, it sucks. That's the thing.
Yeah, and if you only get to pick 5 when you get,
Yeah.
if you only get to pick 5, you're probably not going to pick that one.
That's what I was saying. Like,
Yeah.
I'd probably pick a really nasty basketball dub over the marathon.
Yeah.
Because, like, the marathon kind of, like, makes me into that person. Like, I am honoring it by, like, being true to it now, too. I don't know how that makes sense. But I'd rather not suffer that much. Facts. Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't have to. I think life is suffering, but if we could choose not to, I think we're going to choose not to virtually every time. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Why would you?
If Jesus came back, would Jesus pick dying on the cross as one of his 5 moments that he would want to relive? That's the question. Because then it's like, is suffering the most valuable thing to Jesus? Or was it the time he spent with, like, his friends, or like maybe one day when he went hard on the Pharisees, or like when he did the Sermon on the Mount, like one really good sermon. Like I'd do that one. I'd hang out with Mary that one day. Like I don't know, bro.
Yeah. Would he pick to be on the cross again? If the dub was already like won, or if the price was already paid,
right?
It's like I don't have to pay that price again.
I don't know. It almost makes sense to me that he would, because the Bible describes us as like pottery. So like if you became that vessel, I don't know if he wouldn't be that vessel, or choose to do the, like, once he is that vase, I don't know if he would go back to the thinking of, like, the thing that wouldn't want to do it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm wrapping my brain around it right now.
We're getting out there.
I think if the truer truth is that suffering sucks, Jesus might not want to. It's like, that was a terrible day. I'm really proud of myself, but I don't want to. It's like
it was like the most important day in my life, but it wasn't the best per se.
Yeah, terrible is a word.
Or my favorite.
Yeah, exactly. My favorite's a word. There we go.
My favorite.
But it might be. I don't know, man.
On a level, yes.
One of the questions would be like, can I have this mindset while I relive it?
Yeah, am I purely just back in the day?
Yeah.
Or do I get to be third-person perspective, objective, kind of watching myself live the day?
I think if you really think about it, it'd be more valuable to go back and have the older perspective, because you'll always have the new perspective. But it'd be almost like joyful to go back with like some amnesia and just like be in that moment again. Come back out and be like, damn, that was so crazy. I'm so crazy. This is crazy. I was really out there, bro. It's more
maybe
true. More.
I don't know. That might be something that we get to heaven and then God shows it to you. You're like, oh, I do value my marathon. It's stuck in there, number 4.
Yeah, super true. Super true. Another good day. Like I had a good birthday when we went to Schlitterbahn that one time.
How old were we?
Dude, like
maybe like what, 12, 13?
No, 7 or 8.
Younger?
Yeah, we were in elementary school.
Okay.
And it was me,
under 10.
You, Jordan, Ed Salazar, and we're like just at Schlitterbahn with my mom for my birthday. And we were like counting how many times people fell out of their tubes on the rides.
Yep.
And Jordan kept falling out of his tube,
every
bro.
time.
Dude, that was like a really pure good day. You know what I'm saying?
Good day. And then we got San Fran covering. That makes this a great day.
My man's.
As per right now.
Hypotheses? Correct. Come on, bro.
We're going to find out here in the next like 10 minutes.
Daniel Jones is trying his ass off to make it a game, but
I feel bad for those guys. The Gigantes.
Dude.
Nuevo York.
New York.
They're just getting waxed, man. That last week, the Cowboys fans just they're loving 40-0 on the Giants last week. Poor guys.
Couldn't put it together.
That'd be happening to people. That usually happens in college games. In college games, people win by 40.
Yeah.
Not in the NFL.
Seriously.
People don't win by 40 in the NFL. That's just absurdity.
Yes, it's not something you see very often.
Yeah, I think it's crazy because it's. I think the skill gap is closing. Or like, I remember seeing it in NCAA basketball. Whenever a 16 seed beat the 1 seed finally, it's like the skill gap is getting smaller. Like people are getting better and younger in ages all across the country.
Yes.
So it's like kids are just getting nasty. Like in middle school, I'm like the middle schoolers now would destroy the middle schoolers like 30 years ago.
Dust them.
Dust.
They don't know how to gritty at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah, for real. Like I'm sure that could even be stretched back to even further, and it's going to continue.
Yeah.
We'll probably max out to our physical max, but we're still studying and learning more about kinesiology and nutrition and ways to train and ways to recover. And like we're implementing that at younger and younger ages. So kids are getting nastier and nastier and nastier.
Yes.
So like college teams, like anyone could lose now. And in the NFL, it's like everyone's fucking good. And rookies come in and they're instantly good because the rookies that come in, it used to be like, the rookie's coming in. Let me see how the rookie does at NFL pace, because college and the NFL pretty different. But nowadays, the rookies come in, they're good to go. They come in, they're scoring touchdowns instantly.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That wasn't the case like 10, 20 years ago in the NFL. At least I don't think so.
No, not like that. I mean,
right?
Guys come in, like Peyton Manning came in and threw more interceptions than anybody else that year.
Oh.
Yeah. So like there's that supports your theory. Tom Brady had to like be a 5th round draft pick or something like that.
Yeah, he was super late in the draft.
Yeah.
And he had to like get his chance through injury to kind of even get the start.
Yep. Aaron Rodgers came, and I think Brett Favre was the quarterback still.
Yeah, he was behind Brett Favre.
Yeah, but that was like typical. That's like how it went. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I think maybe there were some rookie running backs that came in. Like a Heisman winning running back would come in and get the rookie starting job in places.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
There's definitely 1st round draft pick quarterbacks that would like Robert Griffin III, I think, just got the job right away. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. But
You're right, though.
I just think there's a trend I see here.
All that to be said, you're completely right.
I think there's a trend in which the rookies are just nasty. Kids are getting better at younger ages.
A guy that's 21, 22 years old can step into the NFL, the league, and get on a team, and within 3 or 4 weeks, he's like leading statistical categories, or he's a vital threat that they can actually lean on and depend on. That's crazy. It wasn't like that.
Yeah,
it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that.
Only with the freaks.
And definitely not exactly. That was my next point. It was like, it may have happened, but it was only with the freaks.
Yeah.
Now it's like there's a surplus of freaks.
Yeah.
Everyone has freakish qualities. We're training it from the womb sometimes.
There's also like easier access to information. So you can
you just Google and YouTube whatever the hell you need to train, how to train it, what to eat.
Yep. Yeah, that wasn't necessarily
30 years
around.
ago?
No, not at all, dude. People didn't know about nutrition. Like, it wasn't like that, bro.
It wasn't so common knowledge.
Dude, yeah, how could you? You'd have to go to a fucking library and read a book,
You'd have to go to Yale or some shit.
Yeah,
study
dude.
nutrition.
It was all hearsay and guesswork because it's like your body. It's hard to have actual results. Not a lot of people can be true to a science, you know?
Yeah, it takes time for studies to come out. It's like you need for a 10-year study to come out, you need 10 years to pass, and then you need to collect that data over the 10 years. So it's like we're still finding things out now that we started testing 20 years ago, and like that trend's just continued to happen, and now it's at a faster and faster pace. More information, more access to this information. People are getting nastier.
Yeah, it's cool. It's good for sports.
It's neat.
It's funny how like that just becomes a constraint. Within that constraint, there's still truths that make it predictable, and like you were able to predict a lot of stuff today, well and accurate. And like, even though like everybody's good and the disparity skill gap is getting lower, still able to kind of read the narrative of what's going on there and make accurate predictions. And I think that's because like isness is outside of like the market changing. It's like the market can change, but like you can be a perspective of like what's going on here that's always like bigger than the change. It's not like the change is gonna like you wouldn't identify what's going on there, and then the change would happen, and like you could be wrong in a moment, but there is an objective truth. So the objective truth will always, like, I think, lie outside of, like, the changing. Like, things kind of are predictable. And if they're unpredictable, then they're predictably unpredictable if you predict it well.
And then you factor in unpredictability into your equation.
If you know how to do that well enough. I mean, what I'm saying is that's super hard to wrap your head around. But if we get wise and continue to get sharper and smarter, and like our science gets better and better, like I think that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's cool. And yeah, like we're able to use the NFL kind of as a gauge of a story that we're predicting. Like, how's the story coming out?
What else would you use?
I love it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess like life. That's but I mean, you only got one of those. You can't. It's like I could sim 10,000 lives.
And people are always watching something. People aren't watching sports necessarily, but they're watching something. What are people watching? They're watching. Maybe they watch YouTube
Their
or
phone
streamers.
right
Yeah, in social media, or they watch some sort of television program. They find life in that. Maybe find stories in that. There are, I'm sure. But yeah, I don't know. The NFL's just I love the predictable unpredictability that goes by week to week and the narratives that build, the drama, the soap opera.
It's great because it's a simulation of an organized team. We get 32 teams that organize to play a competitive sport, and then we get to, like, imagine on a spreadsheet, you just get data. It's like, and then you can withdraw like objective truths from that data. It's like, why'd this happen? It's like, well, he's the best at these things. It's like, oh, that must be the trend of the league, that if you can pass really well, you'll do really well. You can like draw out conclusions that are like relatively true.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's not a lot of things that just like organized teams play out for 16 weeks to give you data sets that would represent life. Like, not a lot of stuff is doing that for you.
Yeah, outside of sports.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, art kind of does that, where like movies and books represent life.
Yeah, movies do that for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I guess the movies that people watch. There it is.
I found it.
That's where they derive their stories from, where they're predictive, or like they're trying to figure out what's going on here.
One thing that makes it easy for me to like digest art is that I think art is like true in the sense where like the good guys win and the bad guys lose to a degree. Like
That's gotta be right.
Right.
That's gotta be right.
That was my question. Is that presupposition wrong? Like,
yeah, I remember I used to think in college that, I guess I don't even know how old, like 18 to 22, in that age range. But the idea of, I was like, maybe all the kids' movies are like just like superhero movies, and that category, super simplified dramatization of life for children to understand. It's like the good guys always win. And I thought that was like written into the script on purpose, but then I thought that, I don't know, then the older I got, I started to like dissect that thought, and I think that that's just like the basis of truth. I thought that maybe we were trying to like put that in, or like trying to like subliminally slide that into our movies and our what's it called, media, to like, I guess, influence that like life is good, or like inherently good versus inherently evil. I think that the older I got, I was like, no, I think that's just how it is. That's just how it is.
Isness.
That just is. Yeah, that just is the truth.
Yeah.
It's not just we're trying to be like, no, superheroes win. The good guy always wins. Be a good guy. No, I think that is just what it is. I'm not sure exactly why that came about, insofar as removing that as maybe like into like, oh no, this is true. Maybe it's just like super mega multivitamins plus like experience and time, seeing that like, no, I think this is right. And maybe more spiritual understanding, and like an understanding of a relationship with God, whatever's going on, whatever made this whole thing, and trying to understand this whole thing, where this came from. It's like, no, I think it is just like good inherently. I think that is just real. I think that's right. What do you think?
I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm examining it right now, so I'm trying to detach from what I think and just look at it with you. Because it's a question when you're a kid. It's like, nice guys finish last, dummy. Is how they say it. So like, that kind of like is a critique that if you just do things for goodness sake, that you're kind of dumb, and that you should like finesse more, and you should be more slide, and like you should be looking out for number one, which would be you, in that line of thinking. And yeah, you can go to church if you want to be like a choir boy, pussy. It's kind of like what I think. That's the critique. And I'm trying to evaluate the critique. It's like,
well, I think in the word Chance the Rapper, I'm not a nice guy, I'm a good guy.
That's a good, like that's a nuanced perspective of that truth, right? It's like, you want to do the right thing, but I'm not going to be taken advantage of about it.
Yeah.
I'll do what's worthy, but I'm not going to be walked on.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm with that shit. In my mind, that's like being a cowboy almost. Like, you gotta be respectable so you can get around, but also like you work for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not your job to be taking care of other people. It's your job to make sure you get by to the next day. And it's like, but if you're like a bad guy, or you break the laws, or like you're a fuck, like people aren't gonna let you just walk into their town and throw your horse around and fucking like get around and shit. People are gonna be like, fuck this guy.
Right.
But it's like, you got to be both of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you act if you're good, like a good guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, you act in accordance with good graces, people are like happy to have you around.
Yeah.
Sure. And I don't think that's like taking advantage of that. I think that's like life. It's like, we like symbiotic goodness. We like society. It's like, we want to have the ability to get around with everybody. Because
Yeah.
we all have shit we want to do, you know what I'm saying? It'd be nice if we had that respect level with everybody where we're just like, yeah, this dude's always like solid. And, like this guy's cool. He like picks up after himself and like doesn't let bullshit fly or like
Yeah, he's cool.
yeah.
He's cool with us.
So I think when I'm evaluating like, see, that's funny because like I'm drawing that like cowboy reference because like cowboys are good guys in movies, but they're like not always necessarily like typical protagonist like choir boy good guys.
Yeah, or I think at like the superhero level, like the children level, it's just like a very simplification, like an oversimplification of dramatization of good and evil. It's like this guy's all good and this guy's all evil.
Yeah.
But then like with cowboys or like outlaws, like you gotta kind of incorporate some of that dark side or some of the evil, some of the villainous qualities to actually be like a true good guy or to stand on the fucking forefront of like the in between.
It definitely makes you a more complex character, which people like, which is appreciable. I don't think we like simple characters per se in like movies and books.
Yeah, well, we like to see the evolution, the growth, the development, the character arc.
Yeah.
The play out of their wrong ways if it's wrong or whatever to now a new perspective of like, oh, I was wrong. And now they act in a different way. It's like, oh, now they're doing better. Now they're winning. It's like, okay, bet. Nice.
We love to see that because we want what I think the reason why. I mean, some people don't like it, but I think it's like that's rooted in their negative emotion driven energies. But for the most part, when people do well, it like makes us happy to see that. Mm-hmm. I think that kind of relates to this thing that like good is good and like bad is bad. And usually like the good is going to win and the bad's going to lose.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, I
think this is true.
I think you're right. As a kid, I conceptualized it as like the good guys win over time. Like
over time.
Yeah. Jesus is gonna win.
The movie's not over yet.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a sequel.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
we're still hooping and hollering over here, y'all.
The good guys. Jesus is gonna. They crucified Jesus, but when he comes back for the church,
he comes back.
This is gonna be
72 hours.
Seriously. Wait, what?
Or 3 days.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said he was. Yes. Came back in 3 days, and then he's gonna come back again, like, and then take us all to heaven, take the earth to heaven, and that's tight. That's tight. Like I know that's a a metaphor to draw that like even when evil wins the battle, it doesn't win the war.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
So you got to have war perspective, not battle perspective. That comes with maturity, or for me, it did.
Yeah, I think it does too. I think it takes time to develop that. Time can pass and you don't have to develop that mentality or like that wisdom per se or that perspective of more war. More war in terms of long term. I think in terms of years, 18 months at a time versus days and weeks.
Yes.
Much different. I think you have to get older to get there.
Yeah.
I couldn't think like this when I was 25.
Couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it. Now it's like, I think in terms of years really easily now. I remember last football season very easily. And I know that, like my last birthday, I know that Christmas is coming around the corner. I remember last Christmas very vividly. Or it's like last Halloween.
You're right in there.
Right there.
Yeah. It's nice. It's nice to have. I feel very, what's the right word? Like, expanded. Like, now I can project a year. Now, I used to have to move off of what I could do next week. I'm moving off of what I can do next year now. That makes, like, my next step even bigger. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like, I can't, hopefully, like, I just gained the perspective to, like, see it a little more detached. And if I play my cards from this detached perspective properly, then that will gain me access to even further detached. And then, like, hopefully everything just keeps going according to plan. Yeah. I think that's, like, what life is to a degree, you know? Mm-hmm. Same way good guys win and bad guys lose. I think, like life just has these qualities to it that you can kind of tap into where if you, like, are a good guy in your own story, regardless of what, like, other people say or think, or like you have to be just really true to what's going on, like who you are and what you're going through and how you feel about it and what the right thing to do is. Like, really go through that, and then, like, your karma will play out and your story will have the ending that's appropriate for how you acted during the story.
Yeah, that's what karma is.
Right?
That's what karma is.
Just like when you're watching a movie, you kind of like know what you think's gonna happen. Like, where's that coming from?
Right. I always be doing that shit.
Yeah. And like I'm sure you know somebody who's really good at that. Like they're always predicting the right end to the movie. Like it's almost like something you can kind of figure out. And I
Yeah,
think
I'm like, oh, that would be crazy if this happened.
right? It's like movie karma is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And
the
then
predictability of the story.
yes, bro. Like well put. That I think that translates it's into life. Because we're a story driven life too. And like those are stories. And then so I think like it's almost a stretch to say that those principles play out over here. Some people might say like that'd be nice. It'd be nice if people got their karma or like good things played out. And I'm like, I think they do. I think they do. Kind of living my life like that. As if that were true.
Yeah, when you put the word karma on it, I guess it kind of has a hint or a hue of like kind of hippie language, mystical, metaphysical, abstract things that you can't really, it's not tangible. It's just an idea and a concept. So whenever you start talking like that, it's like, oh, I can't hold it. It's hard to believe. It's hard to see. I don't know. But it's just, I think it is, you live in your karma. You live in your karma. You're living in your karma. You're living in it. Yeah, you're already there. Like,
yep.
To me, it's not even like a if and or but or like I had to believe it, make myself believe it. It's like I think I'm in it already. I think I've already had that realization of like, oh, I'm living in a result. I remember having that, literally saying those words to you.
That's crazy.
All around mega multivitamin trips. It's like this is all a result. This is all a result.
That's crazy. It's so true.
Yeah.
Expand. What do you mean? Like, explain it further.
I guess for
the people.
It's the results. You're living in the results of, I guess, what we were just talking about to get to this topic is like, I think you're living in your karmic results of like actions that you've done in the past. But then also, I guess it's probably coupled with your thoughts as well. And like thoughts, like things that you've thought as well as actions that you've taken, like result in your life right now. More or less, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything you've done has
Led you here.
Yeah, exactly. And then everything you're going to do is going to like lead you to where you're going to go next.
Somewhere else.
But your now is precipitated on everything that happened before. Precipitated isn't a word. I'm sorry.
Got him.
I'm
I loved it.
Okay, cool.
I'm with it.
On everything that has already happened. Yeah, you know, there's a song, "Take Me to Church," makes me feel.
Take me to church.
I worship like a dog. But it's because I had a realization around the time that song hit my playlist.
Okay.
And I remember the feeling I associated with was. That's why I started wanting to just pick up all the trash that I saw on the ground. We were working downtown, and I was just down to like work extra shifts, just kind of get thrown around by life. I was like, fucking,
I'm here for it.
I'm here for
me around life.
Yeah, like
I can get you, punk. That's your best shot.
And I was like, what drove that mentality about it was I realized I was in a result, and I realized I wasn't necessarily like giving my best effort, that I wasn't always doing the right thing, that I had like self-sabotaged a few times and been like just not played my hand well. And I wasn't the thing that hurt the most was that like I'm a really like my effort level to me matters a lot. Like how hard I tried matters to me a lot.
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying my hardest. And I usually am, like just years of my life spent, like I usually am, but I wasn't right then. And then I'm like, yeah, and now everything fell apart. And who's to fucking blame for that? Like all of this is like my own doing to a degree. Like life could have gone different ways per se, but like I want to take responsibility for it. So life, if you want to kick my ass while I just start working a bunch to try to make up for all the shit that I've done, like fucking hit me in the face. I don't care. And like, and then the song, I would be like, put on my headphones. Take me to church, I worship like a dog.
Just going 12 rounds with the devil.
Yeah. Just in it. Just like I'll do the hard thing. Whenever someone wants to be a dick, I'll take the high road. I'll pick up the extra shift for that person just to be nice. Like, I don't know. Just really trying to like
put some good in.
Yeah.
Put some good in.
It's like my credit's fucked right now. I fucked my credit.
I gotta go off right here. I gotta have to go off.
Yeah, and I think there was like that was a turning point for me. Like legitimately, that was like a big. I was describing to you. I love the album Scorpion, and it's hard to explain why I like that album so much. Mm-hmm. But like I had that turning point in life, and then things like got deemably better. Maybe like 9 months to a year later, and it just felt like okay, like now we're getting the boat on course. Like this is, I learned how to like really feel good about myself and life, and I don't know, man. Then Scorpion came out and just like became a timestamp for that moment. And there was something I didn't know prior to that, or something I wasn't really acting on, which was like, I'm living in a result. This is all my responsibility. This is my fault, or this is my, what's the opposite of fault? Like,
I guess responsibility is the right word. Or this is my doing.
This is my doing, more or less. And then like I took responsibility for that, and then once I did that, things got like better, and I was like, okay, I can have some agency in this life thing, I think, which is a relieving feeling, you know?
Yeah. I have some say here. I can impact my life.
Yeah. Like as much as it sucks when things go bad and they're my fault, I think things will go well if I stay on this course. I think that if I keep putting my good out there or trying to like not be this shitty version of myself when there's two voices in my head and one of them saying do the right thing, if I keep listening to that voice, I think things will get better here. And like better could be like a lot better, you know?
Yeah.
And that now we're here and things are a lot better.
Yeah, bro. Absolutely. It's like the dual-sided sword of it's my response or my fault whenever shit's like kind of fucked up, but also like my credit whenever shit's going well. And I'm doing well. And shit's popping off. It's nice. I did that. Let's go. Put in the work or started doing whatever with whatever's in front of you. Because you can't change the world necessarily like tomorrow. Like you can make your house clean your car or whatever the hell.
Present yourself to the day. Like if you got like 4 or 5 things to do, you can just like go try to be your best self for all 4 or 5 things. Like really like give a good human effort. What are you thinking?
I'm happy. The 49ers, yeah, that was...
Dude, the Giants are going crazy right now.
Yeah, they're coming back, right?
Dude, it's tied game.
It's tied?
It's tied.
Let's go.
Dude, I know.
They scored a touchdown.
Just one ton. A pick
they
six.
Scored 4.
Dude, come on. You guys can do it one more time.
Oh, that's awesome. It's so cool. I love football, and I love the second half, you know? Because the first half is a whole different thing. The first half will give you it's a whole separate book.
Go on.
It'll give you a whole feeling, man. You're just like, this is done. This team's over. You can count them out. Or it's like, oh, I can count it in. And we got the dub. Yes, sir. We're sitting pretty.
And in that moment,
you never fucking know.
You know that, though. Like, in the first half.
In the back of your mind.
You're like so sure. You're like, they suck. I've seen it. I've seen everything I need to see. Like, it's like a definite almost. Yeah. Then the second half comes out, and you're like, oh, man. Like,
it's a different story. It's like, I've literally heard the announcer say that. It's a different team out there.
That's crazy. How does that...
What the fuck happens?
I don't know. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's unprecedented.
My mom used to say the Colts were... anytime we were losing, she'd be like, we're a second half team.
Second half,
second half team. What can I tell you? We play better in the second half. What can I tell you? Yeah. I know we're down 2 touchdowns. We're a second half team.
Second half team, though.
It got thrown around a lot. But yeah, I don't know what that is. It's kind of referencing like... Sometimes you need to get... If things are going well, some teams do better when things are going well. They're like, all right, bet. We're good. Things are good. I can keep it good. Like, I feel good now. And sometimes things are going bad, and then teams are like, respond well to that too.
Yeah.
It's like the response. Like, some teams are just good at responding. So when things are going bad, they're like, let's go, lock it in, tighten up. We're getting beat here, here, and here. Like, respond. And like, she was just right. Like, the Colts were a second half team. Like, we responded well. Came back a lot. Peyton Manning, career comeback guy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Second half team, you can almost bank on it.
Second half team, baby. Yeah, it's crazy. It's wild. And I remember specifically last year there was a game where the Cincinnati Bengals were down a fair amount in the first half, and then the second half rolls around. I was like, oh man, they're down. They need to score so many times in order to achieve the thing that we're trying to have them achieve. And then I just watched it happen, like play by play, minute by minute. And I was like, oh my God, this is like such a different story. I feel so different than I did like 30 minutes ago watching the same thing. These same players did the exact same thing they were just trying to do. Like, now it's just like a different script. It's so wild. Life can do that. The whole day can do that. God can do that.
What a difference a day makes.
For real.
Like, I say that to myself.
That's a song, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
24 hours or some shit.
Yeah. But
timeless.
Lately, that's been playing in my head a lot because it's just true. Every day is fucking different. Every mission's different. How I feel every day is different.
Different.
And I just be reminding myself of that. Like, how you feel now is not how you're going to feel tomorrow. What you have to do now is not going to be what you have to do tomorrow. Get comfortable with that. Be the thing that knows that, not the thing that's going through that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's helpful.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying is like there's a way to separate yourself from like even like the NFL. It's like this thing changes. I can observe the change up here.
Yeah.
Like, you can't outchange me. Like, I don't know how to explain it, dog.
I
Like,
watched the change itself.
yeah. Yeah, it's like...
The players, the names merely change. I know the trends.
Yeah. And even it's like, maybe your counter trend. That's a trend.
That's a trend.
Exactly.
That's a
Like,
belief. Yes, dog, 100%. It's like I rode the trend of rookie running backs, and then Brees Hall last season, then Brees Hall this season. It's just like, nice. Keep it going, Brees. Keep running, man. Keep running.
so crazy. I didn't have the vision for that. But you did. That's valuable to you and your city.
City, bro.
Like, imagine we're cavemen, bro. Okay? Okay, you're with me.
My club.
we got a fire going.
Looking for shit to kill.
It's cool. So maybe me and you specifically, we got like a little compound. We're like in a little city. Like we got like our families and we're raising them. We watch out for each other. It's cool. And then there's one day where like you and I were gonna go get food for stuff.
Okay.
And then you were like expressed that you thought there was gonna be food at the water. And I'm like, there's never food at the water. I'm gonna go to the place that there's always food. And then you were like, I don't think there's gonna be food there because it just seems like everybody's going there for the food. And I think we should go to the place where nobody's going to food. We should go to the water.
And all that's in.
Yeah. You're like pointing at stuff. You're like pointing at the sun.
I have a lot of conviction. I can't communicate it to you exactly, but I'm very convicted.
I'm pointing at all the dead carcasses that we have, and then I'm pointing at the space where we always go. You're just like, no.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Right? And then let's say like I don't have the vision for that. I just don't. Mm-hmm. But then like taking it back to caveman times makes it a much more like let's say you go and get a bunch of food and then I go and get no food. If I did that for 100 days in a row, I would like lose value in even just like not like society would view me as less valuable, but I would be less valuable to our
literally.
Yeah.
Like tangibly
less valuable. It'd be like, fuck, man, you're like not helping when you could be helping. Or like, I don't know what that is, but it wouldn't be what I'd want. Like, so there is value in the vision that people don't have if it's accurate, you know?
Yes.
And that thing is not privy to everyone. Like I just said, I didn't have the vision for that. Like right now, it wasn't privy to me. But you did have the vision for Brees Hall and the rookie running back trend and like that asset being valuable. And it's crazy to me. Like you drafted with our first round draft pick in the Dynasty League, that guy, and like I didn't have the vision for him at all. And you're so right, and I just get the benefit from you being so right. And that's just like a crazy thing to me.
Let's go.
I'm like, I need to bring that to the table when I know.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? So that we can figure out where all the valuable assets for our little community are and like stay up, you know?
Yes, bro. Yeah, find all the little nuggets. Find everything. Because, yeah, and I guess that's part of the great thing about society or having multiple perspectives is to, like, have them all culminate together and see, like, who thinks what and why, and then be able to, like, justify or, like, reason your way into, like, oh, okay, I see where you're coming from. I think I know. That gives more validity to this thing and less validity to this. And, like, you kind of are able to get a better grasp of what's actually happening. It's like with the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I guess, yeah, with trying to maintain a tribe or some village, some caveman times, it's like we all put our knowledge together of like the landscape of our surrounding area. It's like it's probably really, really hard to scavenge everything and explore everything yourself. So it's like we all just scavenge and explore our own area and then bring our findings together.
Yes.
We're good to go.
Man, what the only thing stopping that from working perfectly is like selfish, evil people trying to take advantage of a system in place. But that's like what goes on here. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It kind of comes back to the question of like, would it not be dumb to like hoard more food for our unit than to like share with everybody else in the community if we were all like sharing our resources and our perspective for the betterment of the group?
Mm.
Like, when you put it like that, like, no. But it's also like communism doesn't work. I don't know if that's American propaganda, but I'm like, you can't pool all the resources then divide them all equally because not everybody's going to try their hardest.
Yeah, that's true. It could definitely lead to that 100%.
These are the questions. These are the questions.
These are the things. Because I don't think communism's worked, right?
No. I mean, tyrannical governments ran communism. We've never had an altruistic government run communism. At least I don't know. But it seems like it creates tyranny and disparity and crashes economies.
It's not good, okay?
America, we went to war for that shit. We nuked it for that shit. So, like, yeah, we're pretty invested in it's bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know in a philosophy plane. I mean, the structures of man are pretty corrupt by nature, anyways. So it's like we're talking about.
Yeah, I think there is because okay, to kind of ring it back around, we were talking about. I do think that this shit's inherently good. You know what I'm saying? I think we are inherently good, and that's a fourth down stop. Let's go, best defense in the league. But we are inherently good, but also at the same exact time, we're inherently Cain as well. I think that's like the first human ever is a murderer. I think that's like correct in the Bible. Like just like even if it didn't happen like literally, I think that's like a true thing. Is that we are like envy and jealousy are very true like base emotions for humans.
Yes.
And like to kill or to be whatever, to be so
Slut gang shit.
yeah, to be so thrown off by that or so upset by whatever the ideal or whatever the hell's going on with all that Cain shit psychologically. I think we also it's like a paradox. Like we're God, but we're also like the devil at the same time. We're like inherently good, but also inherently you could also be evil if you're not careful. If you're not careful, it's really easy to slip into that slope, just like nihilism, and just like fuck this place. So it's both. It's weird. Life's a paradoxes, and then I think that's a big one.
Sorry, Giants are trying to cover for me over here.
Necesitamos el gigantes. Los gigantes.
That was really deep. Thank you for sharing that nugget. I'm trying to think of paradoxes are the most true thing, and I think it's like levels, man. When I think about characters too, like good and evil is such a black and white term. And God and the devil are super polarizing.
Super, yeah, like simplifications.
Yes. But I think that the snake, everyone has a snake in their own heart. And like, even the best person that you know is at some point, like, through the story, like, you could be tempted to, like, you know, someone gives you too much change at McDonald's, and you might be tempted to just, like, put that in your pocket and not say anything. You know what I'm saying? That's, like, super light, doing something wrong, quote unquote. Like, if it's, like, -2 good points, it's, like, not a lot. It's something chill. But you could be involved in an industry that's like let's say like you sell drugs, right? But it's like chill. Like
chill.
Yeah, like you're not really like, you know, hurting anybody, and you're not like all you're doing is like buying these drugs and like selling them to these people. And you make money and they get drugs, and there's not like a lot of problems. The problem is that like I'm not saying that like drugs are bad, okay?
Okay.
And I'm not saying that like I'm not saying people that sell drugs are bad people, okay? But what I'm saying is like if what you're doing with your life force and your choices in like the industry, like the things that you're propagating are like systemically doing and creating like things that would be deemed evil, it's like your participation in those things affect your karmic stance to a degree. So you kind of have to be weary of all the levels of the stuff that you do. And it kind of could lead to this thinking of like, I shouldn't have an iPhone because iPhones have cobalt in them, and cobalts are mined using
pretty unethically.
Yes, exactly. But what am I supposed to do? Not have an iPhone? You fucking hippie. Like, of course I'm going to have an iPhone.
Or any smartphone.
And right? So that's going to kind of throw the baby out with the bathwater on like thinking about like the levels of where your energy are placed creates your karmic output. But I'm like, yes, you do have to take some of the bad with the good. Like that, like we said, we're stuck in the middle of like God and the devil at the same time. All that to say, like, no matter who, like the best quote unquote guy you know or the nicest guy you know, like nice to a fault guy you know, is still going to go through eventually at some point in somebody's story could do something bad to them. They could be the bad guy. They could be tempted to like on a grand scheme of things do something that's going to like create negative ramifications. They could be Cain, be tempted to murder somebody. And I think that like you have to be aware of that shit because everyone thinks it's not them. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
No one thinks they could be like a Nazi prison guard or anything like that.
Right? Everybody thinks like, I don't like bad guys.
I'm not a bad guy.
I'm not a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you got to really be like aware of what you deem good and bad to be and like how you're spending your energy, where you make your conscious choices of, because it's going to come around in a big grand scheme, like a plot twist kind of way where like you might end up being the bad guy. No cap. Like the people that were crucifying Jesus at one point in time, like didn't think they were the bad guys until they were like, oh, I was the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't even know, you know? But like,
they know not what they do.
But like, that's us. You know what I'm saying? It's like hard to wrap my own mind about like, I know not what I do. But like, I think if you can do that and tap into that, you could like be a protagonist. Like good things happen to you. Like there's hope in that to a degree that like God gave us, or like the Bible gave us like a code to like a good life.
Yeah, some guiding principles.
But you're legitimately going to be tempted to be Cain-like in this life because you legitimately have a snake in your heart.
Yeah, it's just gonna suck.
It's crazy.
You're gonna have to tell it no. You're gonna have to starve that wolf.
Like chop the head off of the snake.
Yes. When it's like, ugh, you could just fall back into the same pattern or the same neuro pattern of thinking where you fire those like, boop, whatever that go-to response is.
Excuse making.
Whenever the stress or whenever the thing comes up, you can do the thing. Or you could like, you have to stop it. Like, consciously, you have to stop it. You'd be like, I feel myself wanting to fall back into that mode, that button to hit that neuro association, but I'm going to not do it. And that's just like one time. Starve the wolf one time. Or fed the other wolf, and the other wolf will get bigger.
-1 + 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's good shit. You do that 3 or 4 days in a row, and then you get to like, even I've noticed that with just small things. Like if you work out 3 or 4 days in a row, and then you miss that 5th day, then you get to the 6th day, and you can like remember like putting in that good work for those 3 or 4 days in a row is super valuable. And it's almost more inspiring for you to keep going. I think you could be viewed as that, which means like each little fight, it feels almost insignificant to make one good choice one time. But over the course of time, it's a bigger than just one choice because it's going to help for the next choices. And then you create a body of work, and that helps for like
momentum. Yeah,
dude. And it spirals out of control so fast. It's like it's an exponential one. Each
just
one
spiraling. Just spiraling.
Just spiral. Like a notebook.
Yeah.
Final 21st episode. So yeah, all this good versus evil shit, it seems almost like not worth talking about. I'm like, dog, all we got out here is like a crazy movie script and a bunch of choices we got to make every day.
A bunch of forces pulling you. A bunch of voices in your head justifying.
I got voices in my head saying I can do better.
Yeah. Love that boy, Big Sean.
Trying to listen to those voices.
Stick to the plan voices.
And there's a peace that comes with it whenever like you put yourself out there and you like tried your hardest to like do the right thing. There's like a piece that's in there, and there's a super piece when it hits, when you're like tried your hardest to do the right thing and things go well. You're like, oh yes, bro, fucking yes, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
it's nice, bro.
Yes. Yeah, man. I think you'll know, and the results will play itself out. I think it's also partially why, like in my own mind, it's like I wouldn't try to be wishing. I don't even try to wish ill will on anyone. I just like wish that karma plays itself out, and like their life is their karma. I don't have to ask for something bad to happen to them per se, because it's like some bad.
I don't want to.
Already there. It's like they're already living in it.
Yeah.
It's like people who be breaking into shit or like stealing. That happened to fucking my girlfriend's cousin that we used to work with. Her car got broken into.
One of our friends' cars got broken into last night at work.
No way.
Yeah.
Bruh. See? It's like, you can be like, fuck that guy. I want to fuck that guy up. It's like, yes, justifiable. But it's like, they're already there, man. They're already in hell. That shit sucks.
That's what he said. He said, I guess he needs it more than me. I was like, there you go. You're all right.
Yeah, man, that's just, that's rough. It's rough. Their karmic action, their karmic day-to-day is already going to give them worse comeuppance than I could bestow to them. Like, God will take care of them. And yeah, to try to send out that negative energy is just going to hurt yourself, ultimately.
Exactly. That's the thing.
So it's like, God, don't send out the negative energy towards them, even though they deserve it. It's like, let God take care of them. And it's like, I need to settle here. Let me settle, at least.
So that's critical. Because that's creating, you are a matrix of like your thoughts and energies and feelings. And if you can create thought theories that hold no negative energy going out and only positive energy into the thing that you're building, that's what creates things that get out of hand. But some people are expending negative energy in like just like behaviors, thought culture, like what your industry you're involved in, like all that shit, dude. And like your thing is like has more negative and positive creates net zero. You got a bunch of net zero going on that's like stopping output that could be just, if you think like you're talking about like someone literally breaks into your shit and you're able to be like, oh, you're already in hell, brother. Like, I'm not going there with you.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're almost giving forgiveness in that, which would be positive energy, positive emotion. You can create this really thick inner matrix that's going to be like a high energy frequency individual.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing just like popped in my mind, or like part of maybe to help back the idea that the good always wins in the end, because I think it's like you could talk about it in the sense of like no matter what somebody does to you or no matter what happens in the matrix in this 3D reality, you can like forgive them. Like that's always like the last word. You can always have the last word. It's like I forgive you.
That's nasty.
Yeah, you try to do whatever you want to like bring me down or whatever, but it's like I forgive you.
I'm up.
Like, done. You can't beat that. It's like the last move.
That was Jesus' last move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgive you all.
He's nasty.
He's nasty.
Come on. Yeah, man, it's crazy.
So I think even in that sense, like that's just like a true thing. It's like good is definitely better in that, or not better, but good is definitely the winner at the end of the day, no matter what. Because forgiveness is definitely on the side of good, positive emotion.
Yeah.
And that's the final move. What else can you do? I forgive you.
Kill them.
They're done. Kill them with kindness.
What do you forgive somebody that won't change? I'm taking us to extremities.
Yeah,
I'm testing your theory.
I guess so.
Right.
I guess so.
Because life plays out. Life changes things. It's probably always right for us to forgive and let life play out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I guess forgive. You don't have to like necessarily be like you can forgive from a distance. You know what I'm saying? I guess you don't have to be like involved with somebody per se, or like maybe trying to make it work with them, or make them work, or make them do whatever you deem that they're not doing, or like the potential they're leaving on the table. It's like you can forgive them for like not pursuing that potential, but I guess you don't have to stress yourself out, like because you're not living their life. You can't make them do the thing.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess maybe to a degree, you kind of have to forgive, but also you can't control someone's life. I don't know. Right? You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I guess I was trying to answer your question of like forgiving someone who can't change.
Yeah. Because the reason you're not forgiving them is because you want them to live more up to the potential that you see for like what would be the right thing for them to do in your eyes. But that's all super convoluted. Can't control what people do. But like there has to be like a failsafe for that, which is like forgiveness almost, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just pray for them. Yeah, man, fuck. You can't make the horse drink the water. I guess so that's what people are trying to do. Coaches, teachers, managers. They're trying to promote that, push that, pull that out of somebody. It's like, give me more. How do you do that? It's hard to do.
Tell them the truth.
I think being the example. Yeah, telling the truth and being the example is two things you could definitely start off.
Yeah.
How to get someone to be more.
Yeah,
you gotta show them a little bit.
Sometimes you should show them.
You gotta show them a little bit.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
It's a tough task. It's not super easy to figure out.
Mm.
A lot of it, I think, is just, going to, like, being boots on the ground. Like, there's a problem, dealing with the problem. And then, like, just doing that so much that's, like, kind of what we do. It's like, we deal with the problems.
Yeah. The problem dealer withers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Just handle the problems.
How long have we been going for?
I don't know. We're near an hour and a half. Anything you want to talk about? Anything going on in the inner or outer matrix in pop culture? Popped on the radar?
Nothing crazy that I wanted to bring up. What am I thinking about? I mean, Drake album dropping soon.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Where
Really?
the hell's that been? That was supposed to drop a while ago.
Yeah.
I think Drake had mentioned it was going to come out at the end of August.
Yeah.
But then didn't drop, and everyone's like, what the heck?
Yeah. And then he was like, I never said that. And I was like, I think you said
I
that.
definitely saw that somewhere. We're not just all tripping.
But what he said was that he's just been on tour, and then I guess he's supposed to like finish stuff, and he thought he would have time to finish it while he was on tour, but that time like hasn't really come up, and it's been hard to make it. So he's kind of in a spot where he could like cancel some tour dates and finish the album, but instead he's gonna finish the tour and then drop the album on the last day of the tour, which might just be good PR. He's like, I can't do the album because I'm busy making you all happy. You know what I'm saying? But regardless,
Great play, kid.
he said he gave a date. It was like October 19th.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I saw something maybe on September 22nd, but I guess maybe not. I think maybe I didn't really see anything about him trying to finish it up, coinciding with tour dates and kind of running out of time in that sense. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's a busy man, I'm sure.
Oh, my bad.
And
Yeah.
There's no rush.
Yeah, I mean, he gets to.
He's got plenty of music out there already. He's making plenty of money.
I mean, I want it really bad.
People
That's
want
the
it.
rush.
But
Yeah.
he wants to finish his tour, make his money. He wants to do his due. I understand, brother.
Yeah.
I know it's going to break my heart if they go in here and score a field goal.
They wouldn't do that. Oh, they might do that. No,
they need to go for the touchdown, right?
Thinking Madden, I'd take the field goal.
And then go for the onside?
Yeah. Because it's better to get some points. I don't know.
Don't break my heart.
Don't break his heart.
Achy breaky, bro.
So the Giants come back and win, but they don't cover the spread. That's breaking my heart a little bit.
They don't cover the spread. Don't cover the spread. It happens, man. We take it week by week. We're just getting more data, figuring out what's going on. No, they're kicking the field goal, these bastards.
What's the spread?
8.
Oh my god, you guys are assholes. We need this guy to miss this, dude. Come on,
Before
bro.
we sign off, don't break my heart. It was a 38-yard attempt.
Oh,
my heart is broken.
Oh, you guys suck. Why would you end the final on that?
That's cheeks, bro. That's cheeks. Oh, that's rough.
Kyle Shanahan definitely has
Comes
the
down to
spread.
the last game.
Look how unhappy he is to win. He's like, son of a bitch, that's 10 racks.
Damn it.
Yeah, good game, asshole. He's like, yeah, sorry, bro, I took us.
I took us in the cover. Bastards. Oh, man.
You're crazy, bro.
It's cracked. It happens, y'all. You take it on the chin. We get all this data. We're going in there next week. We're scientists.
It's a long season.
It's a long season, baby. It's a long season.
Man, Michael Jordan tied me. You gotta lose some to win some.
Okay. Yeah?
Yeah. He, first of all, losing to the Pistons really spurred the character that was going to go on to win 6 championships.
That boy needed to lose to those people.
Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes taking a loss is the smartest thing you could do.
Let's go. Words of wisdom to end on from the boy. Let's go. Take your losses in stride. Learn the lessons from them. Turn it into a blessing, into some direction. And keep it moving, baby.
I love you guys. Love you to death.
Love y'all. We're down
Can't
to the point.
hear.
Next time we'll be in the even more than 1%. Or even less than 1%.
Now I want to
here.
get to the 1% of the 1%ers.
Let's go. We're going for 100, y'all. Hopefully you're down for the ride.
Love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.
We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.
Bye.
Rolling through the city to the light show. Really ain't no telling where